Hello everybody, and welcome back to another game from the League of Dracula 2024. This is a match between Skybreaker96 playing as the Hunters and Strider656 playing as Dracula. Welcome one and all. Welcome everybody who's watching it live. It might take a while for people to sort of get into the live stream. Hello to everybody who's watching this back afterwards. Oh my goodness, that shot from 1 people to 5. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to the game. Hello, thanks to Fire in the chat. I got your message, by the way. I'm going to try and run solo for these couple of live streams. I'm just kind of more in the mood for that today. But thank you, though, for the offer. Oh, Pizza Wizard in the chat. Hello, Pizza Wizard. Let's go Skybreaker. Oh, ho, ho! I see. Why's that? What's this allegiance, then? What's all this about? Hello, one and all. I hope you've had a lovely start to your weekend. I know for the Americans, at least, it's very early in the morning. So, hello, welcome. Yeah. So, we'll see once Dracula picks time position. Then we'll get underway. We're seeing this game right from the very beginning. Just let people know there is another live stream after this between Pizza Wizard and Snuffleupagus. Depending on how long this match goes, then the match between Pizza Wizard and Snuff might have already started by the time I switch over. We're just gonna go with the flow a little bit today. Yeah, relatively early. What's it, like 9:30 your time, I think? Yeah, but still. Slightly early for Pizza Wizards. Yeah, no, it's a Saturday, right? You're allowed to lie in and all that stuff. I certainly did anyway. It's a rainy, dreich, gloomy day, as the Scots say. Dreich day here in Spain, but doesn't matter. There's fear of Dracula, so everything's better. Really looking forward to these two games. And looking forward to all the chat with everybody in the live stream. Good stuff. Skybreaker is just a cool guy. He is a cool guy. That I cannot deny at all. And he's playing Hunters. That's true. Strider's also pretty cool, but he's playing Dracula. Exactly. So your Hunter preferences. I mean, hey. Dracula has a very slight win rate advantage in Phase 4. It's still very close. So we'll have to see if the Hunters can try and bring it back closer to 50-50 by the end of the phase. We'll have to see. But so far, all 4 phases have had a very similar win rate, which I'm very surprised about, especially for Phase 3 and 4. Because I thought, once you then have a situation where you got people, in theory, of similar skill level going up against each other, that there might be slightly more preferences, maybe more for Dracula wins, potentially, right? Just because if Dracula is the stronger faction, then you expect to see that when you go against people of similar skill level. Whereas if you got a strong Hunter play against a less experienced Dracula player, then you might expect the Hunter player to win. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. I don't know if that's because people are adapting to the new sort of format with the Immortal update and everything, and then are able to sort of exploit different. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, to be honest. But it's really good though. Whatever it is, it's good. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the entire league phase. If you look across the whole league, there are 144 games. We started at the beginning of September, and now we only have this game that we're watching right now, and then 3 more left. I don't know what it's felt like for everybody else, but it's flown by. Evil Presence. Not adjacent to any Hunters. Good to know. Yeah, absolutely. We're so close to the end now of the league phase. 140 games out of 144 play. This is the 141st. We've got the game between Pizza Wizard and Snuff later on after this. And then we have tomorrow the rematch between Snuff and Pizza Wizard. And then in the evening, Androzot versus Lanchnet. And then that's it. The league is done. As of the time of recording, the top 12 players have been decided. So we know who the top 12 players are going to be, but we still do not know the order of them. I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 positions out of that top 12, which are solid, locked in. People aren't going to change. But this game in particular, between Skybreaker and Strider, very important. I'm trying to remember their positions right now. I think it might be 7th versus 9th, I want to say. But the winner, I think, will take 6th place, if I did the calculations correctly. Because whoever wins this will be on 9 wins. They're both on 8 wins right now. 8 wins, 7 losses. The winner will be on 9. And I think that will push... Yeah, whoever wins will get up into 6th place. Because of medium buck holds and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty important, actually. Because then it will sort of decide sort of the fate for the two players in terms of the route to the final via the knockouts. Obviously, both of these players are going to have to play in the first round of the knockouts, but the one who gets the higher placing will then, in theory, get the easier matchup in the first round. So we'll have to see how it goes. Obviously, the match later between Pizza Wizard and Snuffleupagus will be very important in terms of working out how the top 4 or top 5 really are going to finish, right? Because we've got Pizza Wizard currently in 2nd, and Snuff has gone all the way down to 5th just because Mr. Green and Fangs of Fire played all their games earlier and won the vast majority of their games in the 4th phase. So yeah, Snuff's currently sitting in 5th, but with 2 games in hand. So yeah, the rankings of the top 5 positions are all going to be determined based on that. So Fangs saying, oh, they were 6th and 7th. Oh, yeah, of course, right. Based upon what was published last Sunday, yeah, that would make sense. But things have moved around a little bit since then. I've got slightly admin privileges in terms of seeing the most up-to-date table. But yeah, you're right. This match here is very much just a battle for 6th place in the league. So, yeah. Important stuff, of course. Both players have played very well. Strider, of course, New Blood champion. Had a little bit of a dark call. Interesting. No rumor token when that thing was initially played, so I might play rumor token tomorrow, perhaps. We'll have to see. Yeah, it's you know, Strider was New Blood champion. Had a little bit of a slow start to this league, but has really sort of picked it up towards the end. I can't remember exactly the win rate in the last 2 phases, but it's done pretty well. And Skybreaker, of course, has come off the Skybreaker hasn't played at least in tournaments for about 18 months. Has played sporadically in friendly games since then, but has done really well to get 8 wins out of the first 15. Very good stuff. So yeah, Dark Hole, interesting thing. Very old, quite old school that. I wouldn't expect someone like Strider to do it unless Strider has really wanted to just sort of try to get, I don't know, very early 7 points on the board, maybe, and is trying to get that sort of protection. What we used in the old meta used to be called a Guardian. You'd often hear people like Quincy and Warecraft talking about Guardians. The hide card being something like a Saboteur would be the most conventional one in the old meta to try and, you know, make it harder for the hunters to deal with, you know, said rumor token, vampire, or hoax, or whatever it is. Maybe his hand is just awful and wants a Dark Call. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, Strider's Dark Call is why I support Skybreaker. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. So, Peter with Snuff is already in 5th. Man, it's going to feel bad to knock him down further. Ah, he can't get any lower than 5th just because of the way. I mean, Snuff was in a really good position at the end of the 3rd phase with 10 wins, and nobody can overtake him. Mr. Green and Fangs are the only people who could have overtaken. So, doesn't matter what happens in this game between Skybreaker and Strider, they won't surpass Snuff. So Snuff has got at least 5th place in the bag, but obviously to try and get the easier draw for the knockouts, plus then also avoiding the first round of the knockouts, then, you know, Snuff will be looking to get at least 1 win against you, Pizza Wizard. We'll have to see. And no disrespect, Pizza Wizard. You know I've got a lot of respect for you as a player, but given I'm kind of in a good position right now ahead of you, I kind of want Snuff to win. I'm officially the president of the Snuffleupagus fan club for this weekend. Hola, compan. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenido a otro directo de Furia de Dracula. There you go. My brain's not really warmed up in Spanish today. Some days it flows, other days it's just painful to get every single word out. But anyway, so I expect with this Dark Call, I expect what Dragon's going to do here is place a rumor. Yeah, there you go. Oh, well, good. I'm happy. Good stuff. Yeah, feel free to put your predictions in, folks. Where do you think Dracula is? Who's been studying Skybreaker? Skybreaker's Hunters. Who has been studying Strider's Dracula play? Where do we think Strider has started? There was a rumor token. Not rumor token. There was an evil presence on day... Yeah, after the first encounter got played, and was not adjacent to any hunters, so we know it can't be anywhere really close to Seward, unless the rumor token might be in Barcelona. If Dracula had started in the UK and had gone up to Edinburgh already, or Liverpool, then we wouldn't have known it because of the evil presence. Okay, we got predictions in Varna, Athens, so we're looking at Eastern things. Okay. I think, yeah, Varna's definitely been very popular this league, especially with a hide attached to it. We've seen that quite a few times. It makes sense, right? We're Skybreaker... Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright. I guess Skybreaker was really scared of the Barcelona thing, I guess. Ireland? Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the Dark Core on Ireland, because there's just too much of a risk, because you have to play the Dark Core before you're able to misdirect, which then there's a risk that the hunter just pulls one hard scout and searches either of the island locations and finds you. Whereas if you misdirect first, then I don't know. It's possible. Hey, it's possible. That's for sure. We'll have to see. Okay. Whatever you say, Strider. Yeah, that would have been a bold play. If Dracula was sitting there, that could have been really awkward, really fast. Maybe Skybreaker's been studying him. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, it makes sense, right? If Skybreaker's using my quote-unquote starting setup, then yeah, the East is a little bit of a weakness. Italy is a bit of a weakness, right? Just because of this, so... Strider would have to be feeling really bold to be beside Seward. But then again, Seward, I mean, it was something that Peter was said in a video that he put out earlier today, or was it yesterday? That sometimes Seward's items can be a bit random because he's not paired with anybody to sort of, you know, give him really good items. So you never know. You can catch Seward with awkward things like steaks and garlics and things, right? So he's not really then equipped for combat. So you never know. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, this is the third time. Well, technically the sixth. I guess it depends on how you want to count them. But the third matchup between these two players during this league. So the sixth time in total that they've played. So yeah, they've had quite a bit of experience against each other. That's definitely true. Yeah. So Strider has been calling the whole tournament the Strider Skybreaker tournament. Just because they've played each other so much. Strider was messaging me saying, are we going to meet in the knockouts? And the answer is no. At least they're not going to face in the first round of the knockouts. The earliest they'd probably be able to face each other would be the semi-final. Unless there's a calculation that I've really messed up, I don't think it's possible for these two to play against each other in the knockouts until at least the semi-final stage. If they're on the same side of the draw. If they're not on the same side of the draw, then they have to be in the final, if they both made it. So, no, I don't think there's any chance of them playing in the knockouts. That's fine. A little bit of variety for the two of them. Because they're probably fed up of each other by now. I know it's a bit awkward too, just because of, you know, timings and stuff. To try and, you know, find a good time for them both to play, but that's why they played a match on Thursday night. Yeah, is Skybreaker broken under the stress of their games? I don't know. I think he's been doing, hey, have they taken it in stride? Oh, goodness. Oh, not the puns. Not more of this. Very good. Well done, well done. Oh. Seward has horses already. Yeah, I don't mind that. I'd probably prefer Marseille, to be honest, but I don't mind Bordeaux either. So that's 2 moves, that's 2 supplies that Seward hasn't done. So I wonder if that will mess up the timings of certain, events or items. We'll have to see. Jovan Harker's in play. Fine saying, by the way, Scott, so you and I are going to play each other in the semi-finals. That's not guaranteed. That is the most likely outcome. But there is a permutation in which we will not play in the semi-finals. We'd only be able to play in the finals if we both made it there. But yeah, you're right. I think the most probable outcome is that we're going to be on the same side of the knockout draw. Border is a nice spot for Seward. Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? Maybe he's moving so he doesn't draw a second horse. Yeah, but I mean, I think you can kind of work around that. I wouldn't be scared about that because you're also getting events, right? So, oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry. I've just had my lunch. There's a lot of potatoes with lunch, and I haven't had my siesta today. So even though I slept in, I'm a bit sleepy, but that's okay. Fear of Dracula wake me up. Permutation, word of the day. There you go. You're welcome. Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool to see the final league table tomorrow. And then get all the stuff with the knockouts sorted. And just see the matchups, right? Because now people will see their route to the final. There won't be as many games. As in the league, but that's okay. The games will be very special, though. Newspaper day approaches. Well, that's the thing. Do they have newspaper? Right? They've missed out 2 supplies with Seward, so there's a chance that maybe they haven't drawn one. I mean, Harker helps out with this, but then if there's a hide, and if it's an extremity, if something they could reach, if it's close by or with a chartered carriage, then it's okay. But if it's something like a Varna, where you really need 2 moves or a renewed vigor, or I should say 2 days worth of movement or renewed vigor, then also with a hide involved, you need forewarned potentially as well, or dogs if it's a saboteur. Early hypnosis. He is in the east, so people saying Athens and Varna could well be right. Do we like that? I mean, I guess because if there's no newspaper, at least that way, I guess you can move these 2 hunters in so they're in a better position for when Jonathan Harker triggers. Tomorrow there is no newspaper. But the problem is now you've used hypnosis, and Strider knows you don't have hypnosis anymore. That's the issue. The problem is now Mina. Yeah, Mina can't move today. It's all gonna be on. Godalming. How will each knockout round work for the benefit of those who haven't seen one? Well, that's true. Yeah, so I'm gonna write something in the Discord because I know people who are in New Blood, they'll know how knockouts work, but maybe others not. So it's very simple. The top 12 players are going to be put on a sort of a bracket, a route to the final. The players ranked between 5th and 12th will have to play between each other for 1 knockout round, and then the top 4 players get introduced into that as well. The league rankings will be used as seeding. So the way the seeding will be done will be, in theory, if the highest seeds always win their matches, then the quarterfinal will have first playing 8th, second playing 7th, and so on. And then the semi-final should be, in theory, if the highest seed always wins, first versus 4th, second versus 3rd, and then the final should be, in theory, first versus 2nd, but it might not end up that way in terms of who beats who, but that's in theory. So that's why the league rankings are important. It's not a random, because there are some sort of knockout competitions which are done randomly with double elimination and stuff. This is single elimination. But it just means that the higher position you get in the league, then in theory, the highest seed, the highest seeds get easier, an easier route in theory. But we know, Fear of Dracula. It likes to throw in a lot of curveballs along the way, and they're not going to be simple games. Far from it. You just never lose. Oh, there's a Charlie carriage. Okay. I mean, I don't mind this. If Dracula goes all the way to, like, Sofia, then is in a pretty good position to go down to Athens or into Varna or to Galatz. Assuming there's a horse. That's the problem. If he doesn't have a horse, then they're in big trouble. Oh, what? Oh, I don't know about that one. You're really putting your eggs in in the Varna basket. What was if it's Athens? You can't get to Athens anymore. I would have gone to Sofia, which is the safer position. Because then you can get to any of the extremity locations with a good horse roll. Peter was asking... Oh, yeah, so each knockout round is a best of 3. So if one player wins 2-0, then they're automatically through. Then whoever wins... If it's 1-1, then whoever wins the deciding game goes through. What happens if you split your games 1-1? Right, good question. So before the knockout... Before you play your opponent in the first game, the player who has the higher seeding, so finish higher in the league, chooses what role they'll have first. In the second game, the roles will reverse. If it's tied 1-1 after those 2 games, then yes, we will calculate the IDS for the 2 games, and whoever has an IDS advantage, so basically won their game with the higher IDS value, then they will pick the faction that they want for game 3. And then whoever wins game 3 is through to the next round, regardless of what margin of victory or whatever. Doesn't matter. That's how it's going to be done. So the only thing will be if there are situations where maybe if the players have decided to play game 2 and then potentially game 3 back-to-back, if they don't know what the IDS value is for game 1 and game 2, so they don't want to mess it up, then we can, the admin can quickly do a calculation for them to tell them in case there's confusion. So yeah, that's how it's going to be done. Don't worry, everything will be outlined in the Discord. I will start doing that probably this afternoon, this evening, just to start getting anything I can do in advance, the better. Here's Harker. Okay. Sorry for that. Well, Kadami got a little bit lucky in that he's close to Galatz than he is to Athens and is on a rail line. So if he hasn't got a horse, will Skybreaker make Captain Gyro proud and use the train to get there? But the problem is now, what about the hide? Do you have a forewarned? Do you have dogs? Depends what it is. Dogs can counter the Saboteur, but doesn't counter bats, doesn't counter fog. Do you have a stake? What if it's double fighting vampire? Maybe Gadami went to Constanta to avoid the bats in Sofia. Yeah, I mean, sure. It's something I did wonder. Did Dracula put something to delay him? But it's still very risky by going all the way to Constanta. What if it is Athens? You'll never get there in time. He needs a forewarned? Yeah, potentially. Unless there's a sense of emergency from Mina to also get in. The problem is, Hunters have used a lot of resources so far. They've used Hypnosis and Charted Carriage. If they cannot stop this rumor token, then it's a little bit of a waste. I think. I guess it depends. If they can... Uh-oh. Forewarned? Okay. Didn't have the forewarned. The thing is, I think because of the Dark Call, it makes it even more obvious there's a hide. That's the issue. Joy says, if it could also be done that if there's a tie, the one who's finished better in the classification can choose one. Right, okay. Yeah. The way yeah, that would be the second option. If says emergency on Mina, possibly. Yeah, we'll always do it, even though using the league rankings is nicer. Imagine you get a player who is improving throughout the whole tournament and they end up with a lower ranking, but they actually play a really, really good game against a higher seeding player, and they actually have the ID disadvantage going into the third game. But then suddenly there's a case of, oh, even though you've played really well in one of the games and won by a huge margin, the higher seeding player still gets to pick their preferred faction for game 3. That's not extremely fair. If there's a situation where IDS is like 0, like is tied between the 2 games, the first 2 games, then in that situation, the higher ranking player would then choose. Yeah, Teleporter wasn't working. I mean, if Godalming had just had randomly chosen to go to Galatz yesterday, the bats would have pushed him into Bucharest today anyway. So going to Constanta didn't make a huge difference to that. So I guess the question is, does Mina have sense of emergency? The fact she's not using it makes me think she doesn't have it. Yeah, you don't wait this long to use sense of emergency when you've got a stake in your hand, right? So that means he hasn't got it. That's scary. Dracula could have maybe been in there or passed through there very recently. Yeah, try to carriage would have also done the trick. Yeah, yeah. The fact they've already used one, then you have to maybe go by odds they don't have one already. So this is the issue. This is why I don't like, personally, this is why I don't like using something like good ambush, because this vampire will mature and wipe this new vampire. So it makes sense to try and get some damage in on Godalming, maybe even a bite. Kill would be very difficult. Godalming does so much health. If Skybreaker plays safe and plays defensive here, this vampire's not going to kill him. Impossible. But this is the issue, right? You're using a very early hypnosis, and then also a charted carriage for essentially nothing. I mean, Godalming's now in a fairly good position, but he doesn't have the good punch. Good punch though. He doesn't have the charted carriage anymore. That's the problem. So, I don't know. I don't like it too much, but you never know. You never know. But I think without the forewarned, that play is very difficult. Unless you just work off the assumption there is no hide, but I don't see why Dracula would be dark calling if there was... Dracula wouldn't be dark calling if he doesn't want to hide there, right? You're using dark call to... with the... You know, the sole intention is to pick up a card that can protect the vampire like the bats. If you had forewarned, then I'd be like, okay, you're using a lot of resources, hypnosis, charted carriage, and forewarned, but you stop the 7 points. So maybe when you look at it that way, it's worth it. The problem is now he's used hypnosis and charted carriage and has given up the points. I guess the only benefit is then there's not as much trail to deal with. I don't know. It's tricky. Yeah, good job, Skybreaker. He got out, took 4 damage, but it's Godalming. He can sort of absorb that. I guess it's a shame that Seward had to go all the way over here. Clearly, there was some sort of awkward trade that had to be made. If Seward had managed to get a little bit closer, I think even if with this vampire maturing, I feel like the Huns would still be in a decent position because they're, you know, they have quite a lot of potential to suddenly jump on Dracula if Dracula missteps. Where is Dracula now? Dracula could be in Sarajevo now. Could be in Budapest now. Yeah, it could be double horse. It could just be that maybe Seward got all 4 items, whereas maybe Van Helsing picked up, I don't know, Heavenly Hose 2 guns or something. He just wants to give it to Seward, and Seward can charge into the east, and then Van Helsing sits back in Paris or Marseille and supplies. Yeah, there's clearly a trade that was essential, and I don't mind that, right? It's a shame that Seward's over here and not in Munich by now, but if you just get the trade over and done with, then it's dealt with, and you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't want Seward running around, or Van Helsing, depending on who it is, running around with really awkward or very clumsy sort of combination of items, which is not Skybreaker's fault, it's just the way the items fall out. And then you have to then... You're trying to chase Dracula and trade at the same time, but then if Seward steps on a space that hurts him a lot, he could be in a lot of danger. We've seen it in a previous match where a Hunter Death cost 2 horses, right? So you just got to be a little bit careful. So I don't mind doing this trade. Just get over and done with. Get it sorted. Nice 7 points for Dracula. Took the 2 damage from Dark Cold. That's fine. So Bucharest got wiped. It could be in Varna now. No, it can't be because it would be in... well, it could be in Varna now. Could have gone Sofia Varna. I doubt it. But then again, there's nowhere really outside. Well, probably Sofia Salonika would be my guess. Sarajevo, maybe? I think it's ought to go Sarajevo right now. Not wolf forming. Interesting. You do have time to get away with the wolf form because Godalming is delayed. If that means if there is double horse over here on the western side of the board, that means that Mina doesn't have horses. So Skybreaker's going to be a little bit careful how he moves with Mina here. You don't want her to get off the rail line, which is then very hard for her to move anyway. Or if she commits really far into the east, she's going to have real problems getting back. Could be in Athens now? Sofia... Well, it could be as far as... Oh, well, yeah, could it be Valona, Athens? I don't suspect that Strider would have gone straight to Athens directly. But being in Valona now, stopping off in Sarajevo or Salonika along the way, yeah, that I could probably get behind. We'll have to see. Okay, good horse economy, that's decent. Maybe... I don't think Godalming's got a horse, right? Because we saw him use a rail ticket and chartered carriage. Maybe he doesn't have horses. There's still 69s in the discard pile, by the way. So we must maybe work off the assumption they don't have the third horse. Hide in Valona? Yeah? Why not? Sofia, hide in Valona. Gonna be a little bit tricky now if you're trying to go up this little channel along the Adriatic Sea, Sarajevo, Zagreb, Munich, because now you got Seward closing in. He could get into Munich tomorrow. Ah, Mina's now backtracking. That's not what you want. She moved forward, then just to backtrack. I mean, Szeged gives information. Dracula could have gone Klausenberg, Szeged. That means he would have been in Szeged. Knowing that we know Bucharest was on the trail. Well, if she stays in a big stadium supplies, that's fine. I don't like it moving her forward and moving her backwards. Rather just stay still and supplies one turn. You never know, that one item could be vital. Stake and discard 1 Holy Bullets and discard, but the others are not accounted for. But again, might not have drawn them. Got stake on Mina. I assume Godalming had a stake. Otherwise he wouldn't have gone charging into Galatz like he did. Especially when Mina's showing a stake. Peter says, I have noticed that Skybreaker can be a little eager to run in with hunters. Yeah, I mean, it's something that can happen to anybody, right? You got to be... It's a really tricky thing trying to balance movements and supply, right? Taking on 1v1s that aren't always in his favor. Yeah. I feel that's, yeah, I don't know. It's a... I think it's one of those things, and you see it a lot, where as soon as like Dracula's revealed one way or the other, hunters suddenly get this itch and go, "Oh, I need to go. I need to move, right? I need to," and maybe you just need to just hold back just a couple of turns and just get that supplied up a little bit more, get that movement sorted. Especially if you're just moving one road at a time, it's really not worth it. I really feel it's not worth it. So. Yeah, we'll have to see. But that's kind of the thing, right? We'll talk about it before, because these two players have played against each other. You know, this is now the third occasion they've played this matchup. So Skybreaker will know a lot about Strider's Dracula style, and then likewise, Strider will know quite a bit from Skybreaker's Hunter style. I feel that it's actually probably easier for the Dracula player to learn about the Hunter's style of play, rather than the other way around, because Dracula naturally as a role is more sneaky, is more unpredictable. Even though, you know, Dracula players will always have tendencies in the way they play and where they start and things. But Dracula's nature is to be unpredictable. Whereas the Hunters, in general, follow this sort of meta sort of way of playing. So, yeah. I feel that Dracula players can learn more about the Hunter style of play. And if you know you're against a Hunter who has a tendency to move a lot, or we saw it, you know, in other games with someone like Spencer Wolfhart, who's suddenly doing this sort of stuff throwing away horses and all these sort of things. If you know you're going up against something like that, then you can adapt your style a bit more. So I don't like this movement either, just because you've got Jonathan Harker, right? I know Jonathan Harker's slow and we make fun of him, but in this situation he's quite useful. If you've had a little bit of a awkward... Okay, well, you found the pre-wolf form location, which is not bad. But... Oh, well, she could have moved in Zagreb yesterday, and then she would have bumbled into Dracula, which would have been awful. I'm gonna check Belgrade. Maybe. Belgrade's probably more likely. Especially since Szeged had been ruled out. Because Mina had gone there. I don't... Yeah, the move to Klausenburg does make sense. You could have wolf on back to Klausenburg, I suppose. But yeah, I agree. I just still feel you just have to sit and supply a bit. You've got Harker to bail you out. As long as you're kind of in the... If Gadami hasn't got good movement, that's fine. Get him stocked up. He might get up that. He might pick up that third horse, and then he can quickly run to do all these last couple of encounters before they mature. And the others can then start focusing on trying to chase after Dracula, you know, himself. If you've got Harker, use Harker to your advantage. It's difficult to be down 7 points, because obviously if anything matures, you're in quite a bit of trouble. But there's no rumored token yet, but still, even if it's not rumored, you've got a bit of a problem. But if you've got hunters who are well supplied up, and they've got decent movement, the trail shouldn't be an issue. It's still very early. Supply is good, says people. Yeah. Buy them all. Catch them all. Yeah. It's like the scene on the train in Harry Potter where it's like, do you want anything from the trolley? We'll take the lot. It's like you, Peter, going to the shop with all the possible items. I'll have that, and that, and that, and that, and that one, and that, and that, and that. I'll just take everything. I'll just buy the whole shop. You can't possibly carry all those things. I will. I'll find a way. Just garlic falling out of all your pockets. And the thing is, like, Strider's like looking at this and going, okay, I don't really know, but I could probably predict that Gadami doesn't have much movement, Mina doesn't have much movement, the movement's on this side, even though Van Helsing hasn't moved again, so I don't know what they were trading. Maybe it was Heavenly Host that were having to trade around. But that's the thing then, as a Dracula player, if you know your opponent's style, but also, nice, I got any mob, didn't ambush, good stuff. Shame it didn't get misdirected. Oh, she's discarding the stake. Whoa! You don't need to do that. To reveal you got a rifle? I don't feel that's worth it. What if you suddenly bumble into a vampire? What if there's a vampire here? You might need that stake. I wouldn't have done that. For 1 damage, I don't think that's worth it. But that's just me. Shame that this location didn't have a chance to get misdirected. But honestly, it is what it is. So I have to see. Two holy circles, crucifix. Okay. No escapers, bat items. Yeah, silly Skybreaker, you can't stake a mob. I know, I know. You can't bribe them either! I mean, honestly. You just gotta sit there and take it. Take all their punishment. Yeah, better to preserve the stake? I think so. It just makes your life a little bit easier. What if there's two fighting vampires in here? Or you stake an aristocratic by mistake. Well, not by mistake, but you know. And then suddenly There's another one in Sarajevo, and it's not a big city, so you can't get there. If Sud has a stake, what's he going to do? He has to backtrack all the way into the east to get it, but then Dracula, meanwhile, has wolf formed through this corridor, as then in Toulouse or something by that point. You need to preserve a stake in the east. I don't know if... maybe Gadami has one, but one's there are 2 fighting vampires. Unlikely, since we've already seen 2 fighting vampires already. But... you never know. Wolf formed to Nuremberg. Possibly. Well, then Dracula's got to be running around Germania then. I probably wouldn't be moving to Strasbourg. It's a risk you get evil presence or something just pops up and finds you. Wolfram to Venice would be kind of cool. And then Genoa, do you risk going to Marseille? Depending on if you just see Van Helsing constantly staying still and or just, you know, continuing to stay still in Paris, and maybe you go for it. Wolfram to Baltica? Sure, why not? Could have Wolfram to Sofia. Bit risky because oh, okay. Bit risky because you got Gadami in Bucharest. I don't know how I feel about the renewed vigor. I don't think they've got enough movement for that. If they do manage to stumble into Dracula and get a good 2-on-1, your Dracula's gonna be a bit careful. He's on 12 health. You never know. I've seen stranger things happen. Well, we had a game the other night, which didn't get recorded, unfortunately, between Ariel and Randiv, where Randiv got up to 10 influence points, but then Ariel killed him within 9 days. Yeah, cards on the table. Yeah, I think the problem is then, too, because you're using resources like this, this only works if you find him and get a huge chunk of damage, and if you don't, then it looks like you're in a situation where you've used all those resources. Dracula knows you've used them, so you don't have them anymore, and he didn't get punished for it. Hey, Snuff. Hello, hello. You've got a big, important match very shortly, Snuff. You need to focus. If you're getting a good breakfast in, then that's the most important thing. Oh, my goodness. Frankfurt, not Frankfurt, and now Van Helsing just randomly moved there. If you are going to play Speedy Telegraph and things like this, you need to use the out-of-position hunters first to supply, because they might get hired scouts. We haven't seen any hired scouts yet. I'm not saying they will, but you never know. And you got to play the odds a little bit. If Skybreaker doesn't catch him here, then... well... Strider's being given a massive, massive boost. Oh god, the banter in the chat. The war of words between Peter Wiz and Snuff has started already. Love it. I was spreading local rumors, yeah. Oh wait, Mina... What did she do? Mina... moved and then supplied, I guess. Yeah, local rumors or evil presence would have been... Local rumors would be even better, because it tells you the wolf form location. So it's horses. Okay. Oh. That's rough. Do you just check Marseille? I think you have to. Ah, he's not there. He didn't take the obvious path. Yeah. So, Gadami still has a supply and a move. Unless he can move twice. Sui can still move. No, not Genoa either. Go with Mina and Scan. Yeah, that could have been Not a thing you really like to do with Renewed Vigor, though. Unless, oh. Not Belgrade. So Sofia, Sarajevo, Zagreb. Interesting. Yeah, that's not really the thing you like to do with Renewed Vigor, unless you're able to do it where Mina moves and scans with Speed Telegraph first, and then the Hunter who's with her can move out of Munich. Now that would be nice. But it didn't work out that way. So in hindsight, a rather poor Renewed Vigor, unfortunately. And it's one of these things, like, as you're a Dracula player, I don't know how other people do it, but I write all the important events down in my little notebook, and I just tick them off as they get used. Oh, Charter Carriage, tick. Hypnosis, tick. This is where Hypnosis would have been useful after the Wolf form. Especially since he was able to get through this sort of east-west corridor. Well, we assume, unless he's... If he's down in Baltica, then he's in such a strong position. You could have Wolf formed into Valona, go into Salonika, hide... And then Sofia falls off the trail, matures, he moves back into Sofia, unless he feeds and then moves into Sofia once Gaddafi moves off. Peacewood says, horsing Mina onto a hunter to scam with Renewed Vigor. Don't make that mistake. I did that too! I like how we're both making the same mistakes. I did that too. I can't remember what game it was. I moved with Mina, and then suddenly went, oh shit, I can't do the scan, because it's a special action. Oh. Oh dear. Great minds, eh? It's okay. We're getting the rust out before the knockout, it's alright. I assume he hasn't gone into Baltica, but he might have done. He could be in Florence now, and the only thing about this Renewed Vigor then is if he's in Florence, then there's a problem then that Suda is blocking Genoa, so he's going to have to go down the coast. He's going to have to go into Italy now. Hmm. Don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to see. Right, so he's either in Salonika hiding or just in Salonika normally. Okay, so Sophia's gonna get dealt with. Unless it's some sort of delay encounter, and then there could be a vampire behind it, and then who cares about the rumor token? Because you're up to 10 or 11 points. Ah, Geordie, so what Peter Wizard is saying is you can't use a horse movement with Mina and play Psychic Scan, because they're both special actions. That's the point he's making. It's not the fact it's a bad idea, it's just you're trying to do two actions with Renewed Vigor that you can't do. But Mina could have moved normally and then done Psychic Scan. But the problem is there was no other hunter in Munich to scan with, unless Seward moved up to join her. They scan, and then Seward moves out, but then, because Seward had rolled slowly... oh, he was in Zurich, though. So he could have moved normally and then moved back out. He could have moved normally into Munich, and then tried to roll the horses with a 2, if necessary. Nuremberg is still on the table. He could be up in northern Germany, because it hasn't been Psychic Scanned. Could be in, like, Florence, Rome now. Could be in Salonika. He could be in, like, Geneva, if he managed to sneak through, like, Strasbourg and down this way. It's possible. Ooh. Nope, not Florence. So, one of the worst case scenarios ruled out, but yeah, shame that it's negative. I don't know what you do. Do you check Nuremberg now? Do you check Strasbourg now? Hmm. And this is where things get tricky now, because as hunters just, especially after using renewed vigor, there's now a lot of doubt going, oh crap, I didn't find renewed vigor. Oh, now where is he? And any moves you do make could be putting you even further away from where he is. So yeah, this is where things start getting a bit tricky. And I feel, in general, this is when maybe hunters make even more mistakes. Because they maybe then start making suboptimal moves. They check places which are impossible to check, or places they've already checked. It's tricky. Could it be Prague, Berlin? No, it has been ruled out. Nope. Ruling out Leipzig is an important move, but it could have been. It could be Wolfram to Nuremberg, then Prague is now in Vienna, or it could be in Berlin. That's the kind of risky but unlikely to be checked play Strider would do. What? Go to oh, Zagreb to Prague, Berlin, Hamburg. Sure, why not? It's not a very common wolf form to go from Zagreb to Prague, so why not? Oh, thanks for the offer, Fangs. I'm more in the mood to sort of fly solo today. Thank you, though. Yeah, this is where things get tricky. And the problem is now, hunters of used renewed vigor have been moving around a lot, rather than actually supplying. And I know the name of the game is you can't just stay still forever, you have to supply. But the way you try to play... Yeah, Strider's a gambler. Right. Ah, see, now Mina's moved and she's now not found him. She's now on a small city. She's got to move back to resupply if she needs to. So yeah, that... Well, yeah, Prague hasn't been ruled out, so it could be Wolfram to Prague. Spy. Good spy. I like that a lot. That's going to cause a lot of issues for Godalming. Even better if Dracula is in Salonika. And goes even deeper into the east, because Godalming's the closest hunter, but he's down an item. So not a bad idea, that. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. When you're playing against a Dracula who's trying to sort of be a bit sneaky and gamble, there are two ways you have to do it. You either have to... kind of be a little bit lucky, but also extremely efficient with your movements. And really close that net in fast. So then Dracula is really compromised by trying to take a really sneaky route, like going to Prague or Berlin, but suddenly gets trapped before he can get to the safety of a port or something. Or you just supply your way out and don't move. So even if you take a while to find Dracula's trail and he builds up a little bit of distance, you're really well supplied in terms of events to then catch Dracula later. People will approach it in different ways. Sometimes the sort of fast movement can really work because you can catch Dracula off guard, and if you have a lot of movement cards and things banked up, you can get a lot of hunters on him. Again, things you got Jonathan Harker in play. I know you want to find this wolf form sooner rather than later, but at the same time, you've got Harker, so it's not the end of the world if you don't find it. But the problem is if you're constantly moving around, and then Harker has to reveal it to you anyway, you've lost quite a few turns of moving and not actually supplying. So where is he now? Didn't go Nuremberg, so Strasbourg's impossible. He's feeding. There's... No. Is he on a port? It seems like he'd be on a port if he's feeding like that. Unless he feels he's extremely safe. That doesn't seem like... I mean, is there any way he could be in Budapest? If he wolf-formed up to Prague, then backtracked into Vienna, then went to Budapest. I don't think... I think you'd still be moving in that case, right? Yeah. Ah! Skybreaker's asking the important question. Is it Athens? He has worked out that he could have gone east. The problem is, they're going to have to deal with Sarajevo first. Can't let that mature. Hmm. No snuff. You're 1 week ahead of the game. By the time Harker reveals, it will be just the beginning of week 3, not week 4. Yeah, clock is ticking, but not as much as that. That's right, snuff. No worries. Oh, look at this snuff. Pizza Wizard needs half an hour to prepare for the game. You've got him running scared, Snuff. Oh. That's right, Pizza Wizard. I'll see you in the game as soon as this is done. You two just start the game. Don't wait for me. If I have to catch up, I'll catch up. P-dubs. What's that a reference to? Sword. Horsing around. Makes sense. Where's he going? Munich, I guess? Yeah, makes sense. See, Snuff doesn't need half an hour, but Snuff is the man. Snuff is just gonna leave this live stream and instantly go into the game, no sweat. Oh, the dub is the win. Yeah, of course it is. Yes, of course it is. But today, it will not be P-dubs, because he's not gonna win. Problem is that now we're running into the issue being, depending on hunter movement and stuff, when they do discover this rumor token, are they going to aid the movement to get there? And do they even have the stake to deal with it? Oh, Mina has horse. Where'd she get that from? Oh, okay, so the sneaky Prague move is out. So maybe Dracula did backtrack into the east. Yeah, exactly. Pizza Lizard, PL. Exactly. Okay. Well, at least it was not a fighting vampire, because that would have been awful. So could this be Valona? Possibly. We won't know until on the last phase of the trail. Graming will be able to get there, but if it's a fighting vampire, he's not going to be able to deal with it. And the problem is, what happens? Is there any way that Dracula could have gone west? I don't think so. Everything's been ruled out. Nuremberg got ruled out. Prague got ruled out. Venice didn't get ruled out, but Genoa and Florence did. Is there any way he could have gone Venice, Hyde, and he's now in Milan? Well, exactly, Snuff, you see? The feed makes me think he is in... He's in Salonika. So then he's going to go into Sofia. So he could be in Milan now or something. Now moves into Marseille. Yeah, yeah. The Strasbourg thing's been ruled out. So Venice was the wolf form location that has been checked. I'm trying to remember, did Milan get checked directly? But Genoa did. Zurich got checked. Sud was there, I think, when the Renewed Vigor got played. He backtracked to Marseille, then moved into Genoa. So it might be better with the Renewed Vigor to check Milan and Venice, because at least you rule out. You won't jump on Dracula, or I'm very unlikely to. But at least you rule out the wolf form locations. He could be moving to Zurich now, or could have been in Zurich now. Could go on Venice, Milan, Zurich. Yeah. I think the fact that Strider's taken a long time thinking about this turn makes me think he's not there, because if you're in Zurich, I think moving to Marseille is a very predictable, like, a very easy move to make. My gut feeling is he's led Sofia, and then he's probably trying to work out, do I just move into Sofia and reveal myself, or I don't reveal myself? I don't think you reveal yourself here. Godalming's delayed. By the time he's undelayed, you can move into Black Sea Coast. I think Strider's sort of like turn length there gives his location away. I think, unless it's all a massive bluff, or maybe I don't know. He's driving while playing or something. I wouldn't put it past him. Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Or today, really. When Dracula moves, the trail will slide and the wolf form location will be revealed. For all to admire. Okay. There's a potential for a fake wolf form. That's totally true. Klausenberg would have been free by the time Dracula wanted to go and move there. Budapest hasn't been checked either. No. Klausenberg was occupied when Dracula wolf formed. That doesn't stop him from fake wolf forming to Budapest. And then once Godalming leaves, he slips into Klausenberg. Okay, scanning, I assume. Or maybe Budapest did get checked. Was like Mina there or something? So yeah, Vienna's ruled out. But I don't even know if this is where you needed hypnosis, right? I feel like hypnosis in the beginning wasn't worth it because he didn't stop the points. Hold the hypnosis for afterwards. Dracula matures the vampire. You've got less of a trail to deal with. Wolf forms doesn't get the wolf form doesn't get wiped by the vampire, and then you just boom, hypnosis. Use renewed vigor, jump on him with multiple hunters, get around him, you know, force him out to sea, force him into a bad position, something like that. That's why I really don't like these hypnosis early. Again, that's just me. I know a lot of players kind of, you know, do not necessarily agree with me on that, and that's fine. But I don't like it. Even if you're not getting newspaper. You had Harkers. You know, I mean, if the vampire matures, then you know where it is, right? But we'll see. I don't think there's any way he can be here. No. He would have moved out by now. Well, we'll see, folks. Here it is. Oh, and he did backtrack. The problem is now, can Godalming deal with this with only 2 items? And we don't even know what they are. I don't think there's a stake. Unless he held the stake from the aristocratic. Took the delay because he knew he would need it for the rumor token. Is there a heroic leap, maybe, if this is a reckless vampire? Good spy, though, in Sophia. That is potentially going to cause a lot of issues for Dracula. This is where you need then maybe renewed vigor to try and kill this if you're really struggling. Unless you got the second renewed vigor. So where's Dracula now? Dracula could be Belgrade, Bucharest, Black Sea Coast. Is the game going to end this turn? Maybe. We'll have to see. Hide in Valona would be even better. It makes it even more protected. Wasn't Gadami on Sofia? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Salonika has to be a hide. Yeah, but I'm just saying it'd been cool. Yeah, but he's in. Oh no, he just moved. Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry. I mean, better if he'd hidden in Valona. But I guess he just wanted to move out of Valona quickly again to Salonika, and he had to. He was forced to hide. I think. Oh. Interesting move. I mean, Sarajevo's a lair, so I guess you don't want to fast forward onto that. I think it'd be better if you went into Klausenberg, because you're a little bit, like, sort of more ahead of him in a way. Strangely. I know you're not on the rail line, but you can get into Constanta with a fast horse move. Yeah, Varna, Belgrade, or Bucharest, exactly. In the end, it doesn't matter if this thing matures. Oh. How useful that would have been while Gadami was in Sofia. Oh well. It is what it is. Not adjacent to any hunters. So not Belgrade then. It rules out Belgrade. So it's Bucharest or Varna. Yeah. Dracula's on full health. How much would he have to fear Seward and Mina if they jump on him? Maybe a bit. Yep, it rules out Belgrade, which is very important. Very important. Ah, man, that's unfortunate. Just move it to Budapest, I guess, and hope he tries to be really greedy and goes to, like, Klausenberg or Galatz or something. If he's on Black Sea Coast, he's relatively safe, especially since one renewed vigor's been played. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Planned ambush is nice. I don't know if that's going to be enough. If he hadn't got rid of the rifle against the spy... We'll have to see. Plotting. Yeah, Heavenly Host and Knife would do it. Question is, will the vampire allow Godalming to do those things? Okay, there's a Heavenly Host, but he's been plotted. I just had a funny thought pop into my brain. The chance of Godami having 2 Heavenly Hosts is unlikely. I assume he has a weapon. So what the funny thing you could do is, because Godami doesn't want that weapon to be broken. So imagine he plays the escape to use up the plotting, but then the vampire just lets him escape anyway. The combat will end. I would have played knife. If he has one. I guess why? Because he's unlikely to fang. He's more likely to strength with the plotting. Yeah, I guess it was then, if you play knife, then that knife can be used again. Whereas that 4 damage that's been done to the vampire is gone forever. It's never going to get used again. So there's only one item to worry about. And unless Godami has a second Heavenly Host. Let's see. Play strength. That makes a lot of sense. Oh man, I really don't like that punch. Because the problem is, the vampire's doing damage to you, and the plotting is still in play. Godami doesn't have a horse, I don't think. If he has, he hasn't been using one. Mesmerize. Makes sense. No, the plotting's still in play. The plotting's still in play. Oh, that's the problem. You needed to play dodge with the or escape with the plotting in play round 3, because now this vampire can just escape as missed. Yeah. GG, folks. GG. Oh, he had a knife. Oh man. Yeah, he had the knife. So maybe you're right. Maybe you do play the knife round 1. And you bait out the, and then you just try and play Heavenly Host. Because the vampire would have to pick up fangs. And it might also throw off the vampire a little bit, because you'll be like, wait, what? You've only played a knife, so you don't have Heavenly Host then. That's a GG. Well played, Strider. Had to plot for the escape. Makes sense. Makes complete sense. Yeah, spend too much time on the dartboard. Yeah, you're just running around trying to find the wolf form rather than supplying up. I mean, I don't think that would have been a huge problem because maybe this vampire would have matured anyway. But yeah, just running around and not doing a huge amount. That's the problem. Yeah, I enjoyed it, says Strider. Big win for the New Blood champ. Absolutely. Not that IDS, I think, is going to matter in this case. But, I mean, yeah, this is huge for Strider, right? As I said at the beginning of the live stream, whoever wins this is going to get 6th place and will be on 9 wins. So this is a huge win. Strider has given himself, you know, a very good chance of making the quarterfinals now, because you'll have a, in theory, easier tie for the knockout. I'm not saying all the knockout phase games are going to be difficult. But this gives Strider... what's I'm saying? Consolation prize for Skybreaker, because he played Strider 3 in Fee phase, he'll actually get additional points. Yeah, it's actually really weird because of the way it's all panned out. Even though Skybreaker has lost this game, he actually goes up the table. It's so funky the way it's worked because of medium Buckholz. But yeah, because he's played Strider 3 times, and Strider is not his highest ranked opponent. So that means that one, even though Strider has won, Skybreaker still benefits because he goes up the league because he gets 3 medium Buckholz points. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's very cool. Right, exactly. I think the see him in the finals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, chat figured it out. I can't remember who came out with the idea of the loner. Yeah, nice switch there to go back to the east like that. Very good. Yeah, the use of hypnosis, the poor use of renewed vigor, because it didn't actually eliminate a huge amount, because he could have been hiding in Venice, he could have been hiding in Milan. So the places he checked didn't really rule out too much. And yeah, he used then hypnosis before renewed vigor, before he used Hypnosis before the wolf form got played. So Strider held the wolf form until Hypnosis had been played. Oh, okay, it was fine. Just said these. Good stuff. Hey, Strider. Welcome to the live stream. Nice. Good job. GG. You've just secured yourself 6th place in the rankings. So well done. Good win, good win. Yeah, nice switch back to the east. That was very nicely done. And also really good spy in Sophia as well. Because I really did kind of soften up Godalming a little bit. You know, if you had 2 items there after the Heavenly Host to worry about, it'd be a problem. But the fact you only had 1, you were able to kind of, you know, work around it a bit more. Yeah, very good stuff. Well done. Who won? I missed it. Oh, I don't know. Nobody important. It's fine. Oh, dear. Cool. Well, that was also good timing, because it means now we've got Pizza Wizard and Snuff coming up next. So I'm going to go and make myself a cup of tea, because I think I need it, because I'm a little bit sleepy today. And I'll join you on the other link that's in the Discord. For Pizza Wizard Snuffleupagus. So Snuff, I will say farewell for now. You need to be getting yourself mentally prepared. Get yourself all psyched up. I'm sure you can do it. We'll be cheering you on. Well, at least I will be anyway, as president of the Snuffleupagus fan club. Yeah, nicely done, Strider. Really good. Good game. Well played. 6th place. You've done your job. You'll find out your opponent, obviously, tomorrow. And once everything is confirmed for certain, we have to double check everything to make sure that there's no mistakes in terms of calculations and such. But always good to finish off the league with a win. And yeah, it's kind of a weird sort of a weird sort of quirk of the league. You gained places because of this win, but also Skybreaker went up a place. It's really weird. What kind of tea? Good question, actually. I don't know. Don't know. That's right, Snuff, don't worry. That's alright, not a problem. Some things will be kept secret until the end. We can't reveal everything. That's okay, no problem. I don't know what type of tea. Good question. I haven't done loose leaf Earl Grey for a while, so I might do that. I don't know. I'm being very lazy these days. I've not been making loose leaf. I've got one from a brand called Whittards, which is called Afternoon Tea, so it's more black tea and cinnamon, which I kind of like. So maybe I might just go with that, actually. So yeah, I'm going to go myself a cup of tea, and I will see you all in the other live stream in about 10 minutes' time. But in the meantime, I'll quickly go and also update the league table and the, actually, no, I might wait until after the Snuffleupagus and Pizza game to sort of do some statistics and stuff. But very good, Strider, well done. You finished on a win. Good tournament for Skybreaker as well. You know, finished 8-8. You know, 50% win rate. Very good stuff, especially after not really playing that much in the last 18 months. So still really good. So I think that's a good sort of lesson or learning point for any player. It doesn't matter if you're a newer player or if you haven't played for a while, or maybe you haven't played, you know, so well in previous tournaments. You can always play well, right? Every tournament is individual. Slate has been wiped clean. Yeah. So really good for him in the knockouts. Great stuff. Love to see it. So I can't remember who Skybreaker is going to play, but we'll find that out in due course. Everything will be revealed tomorrow after the Androzot Landsknecht game, which is the final game of the league. So we've only got 3 more games left for the league. It's crazy, right? We started this in September. We knew we got 174 league games. And then the knockouts. However, we don't know how many games will be in the knockouts, because it could be, if it's a best of 3, there could be 2 or 3 games per round. We're not sure. Yeah, there's something now. We've only got 3 games left of the league phase. Crazy, crazy stuff. It's been a great tournament. It's been really close, and I hope everyone's enjoyed the format of the competition. It's been great stuff. Really interesting to watch, and to see unfold as a competitor and as a, you know, admin and spectator. So yeah, really good, Strider. Well done. So yeah, I'll cut this live stream short now, just so I can just go and say hi to Mrs. Scott Sword, because I've abandoned her a little bit, and make some tea. But I'll see you all in about 10 minutes time. Not on this live stream, but a different live stream. The links are already in the Discord and on the channel. Yeah, I'll see you over there. Bring all the energy. And get hyped for Pizza Wizard Snuffleupagus. It's the battle for the top... I should say it's technically the top 5, but yeah, battle for the top 4, top 5 is going to be partially resolved today, and then we got the second match tomorrow, of course. So yeah, take care, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Strider, for dropping by. Snuff, Pizza Wizard, Fangs, Geordie, thank you very much for watching. If there's anybody else who's been watching this after the fact, thank you very much. And yeah, I'll see you in 10 minutes on the other live stream, folks. See you very soon. Thank you for watching. And if you've been watching this after the fact, thank you for watching. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.